You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Innovation, networking, and exhibitions all in one space. It's another staging of CME's Corporate Mingle. And today we are here at Eden Gardens Wellness Resort and Spa. I'm your host, Amita Prasadweb. Please stay tuned for highlights.
Now, Eden Gardens basically was started way back in 2008. However, we had a relaunch in 2014. Now, in the relaunch of the 2014, this is the present state that it is in. Now, we have what you call, what are the product offering, or what do we offer to our guests? We offer a spa, a fully contemporary spa. So for those of you who don't know, we have a fully contemporary spa that is not just the main, what you may call it, for example, massage and cosmetics and all of that. But a part of our spa has been licensed for therapeutics under the Cannabis Licensing Authority. And as such, we are one of those few persons, if any, that can practice massage therapy and all that kind of therapy, physiotherapy, utilizing the cannabis extract as it relates to persons who come in may have pains, challenges, muscle spasms, stuff like that. We actually have created products. We have 12 products from Medicanja, that is a subsidiary company, that is also used in this process. Now, in terms of restaurant, we have on location 2 of our own restaurant, which is the Tulips. Now, the Tulips is a casual dining, and basically you can come in here any hour of the day from 7 o'clock in the morning right through to 10 o'clock at night, and you can get any food in terms of your regular Jamaican fare or international fare. Then we have the Black Orchid, and the Black Orchid basically is the more, what you may call fine dining, where you can go, sit, and be pampered and treated like kings and queens. We also have a section for events. Accommodation is here. Of course, we have 22 rooms here, but we have also events. We are maybe the premier area for weddings. So those of us who are getting married or having an anniversary or want to have anything to do with a reception as it relates to weddings, we have it here. For those of us who are interested in any corporate events, as you see, the layout here is just one part of what we can do. You can actually walk upstairs. We have a roof setting that basically gives you the view of the entire New Kingston with the kind of beauty that we represent here as in the gardens. We also have a section where we call our suppliers, where we have a group of persons who are into wellness in one form or the other, have spaces here. So we have the Cushite, we have persons with hair, we have a physiotherapist, chiropractor, a nutritionist. They're all here. So what we are doing, we have created an arena, so to speak, of wellness in the tangible and intangible form. And at the back of the presence here, you will find EG Wellness brands. And primarily what EG Wellness brands do is to specifically research and create products that are geared again towards wellness. We have ATs, we have supplements, we have a supplement that is called Alpha Prostate, and that is for maintaining a healthy prostate. We have Women's Complete, which is a multivitamin for women, specifically for the Caribbean women, and we have Men's Complete, and again, that is specifically for the Caribbean man. And the Men's Complete is one of those products that we have what you call the horny goat weed that we do get great reviews on. So Eden Gardens is not just a hotel. It's not just an accommodation area. It is a composite of different, you may call it, product offering that suits individuals as related to health and wellness. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we're happy to have Corporate Mingle. A lot of the companies that we cater to for meetings and weddings are actually within the New Kingston area. So it's pretty much, it's being able to showcase different sides to Eden Gardens, from corporate events, meetings, functions, seminars, and so forth. We do just as many corporate functions as we do weddings. So it's nice to have the corporate community to let them know that, you know, we are here and we are actually expanding, you know, in a development. We will be starting a new development in a matter of months to expand Eden Gardens Resort. So we're really looking to now be able to offer not only accommodations and wellness spa, you know, that kind of thing. We're looking to beef up our capacity, you know, to be able to host larger groups, possibly conferences, and so forth.
Well, the expected turnout was definitely met. I think we had a large variation of persons, you know, from different entities, and I think the networking was great. I think it was a good partnership of the different companies, and in all, we achieved our goal was to pretty much get persons together to network and to share the different services.
Corporate Mingle allows persons to come out and share ideas and share mistakes that they already made. So persons can see which path is easier to take or which path is better for them to take in the venture that they're in. So for example, as for fashion designers, there's a different path for fashion designers as it pertains to financial services. There's a different path for persons who are in food than it is for persons who are in cosmetics. So when you come to Corporate Mingle, you get to hear all the ideas that are out there. You get to go back, re-advise your whole business plan. You get to look back at what you have and see if it meets what the market needs. For the past 7 months, Creative Media and Events have been a part of a lot of expos. So we decided to design an expo for ourselves. So for us to do like a mini expo is for the persons who have businesses that aren't really out there, who don't have advertising space on television, who don't have advertising space on the radio, and they get a chance to come here, set up a whole exhibit, and go directly to their consumers. They get a new advertising space, a new place for them to brand themselves and to meet their customers directly.
The CIBC First Caribbean award-winning security features enables customers using their mobile phone to view transactions as they occur, and they can also make credit card payments in real time. They can enable the alert feature and receive notifications once the card is used. They can set alerts based on the transaction types, whether it is international or online, and they can freeze the card if it is misplaced or unfreeze it once it is found. And this is all from your phone. To get this amazing offer, it's pretty easy. All persons need is to take the 3-month statements, the last 3-month statements of the card, the balance that you're transferring, and you take in your proof of address. We need your proof of income, which is a salary letter and pay slip. You also need to take in the 3 months bank statements. Persons can go on our website at www.cibcfcib.com, or they may call us at 1-866-743-2257, or they can visit any of the CIBC First Caribbean branches island-wide.
Back with another exciting, innovative and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives, and if we're not doing that, might as well lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
and welcome back to Business Access TV's coverage of Wealth Magazine's Corporate Mingle SME Mini Expo 2018. I'm your host, Amita Prasad-Webb, and please stay tuned for more highlights.
So Business Access TV's role here this evening, we are the media partners for Wealth Magazine Corporate Mingle. So we are at all the corporate mingles, we are capturing all the activities, and we're ensuring that it's packaged and it's aired multiple times on the station. So for those who were unable to make it here for the actual event, they can catch it another day. So based on the nature of Corporate Mingle, it's a networking event, and Business Access TV gets the opportunity to interact intimately with various businesses right across the industries. So we get the opportunity to get some brand exposure. We are no longer just in Jamaica. We are right across the Caribbean territories in 13 islands on the Flow network, and in Jamaica we're on all major cable service providers. We have grown and we continue to grow as the years go by.
We're bringing a wide range of energy-saving items. We're all about energy conservation, and we're trying to spread the message to Jamaicans that they can use a little less by purchasing energy-saving devices to ultimately save them some money in the long term. JPS has been committed over the last couple of years to productivity and driving growth of the Jamaican economy. And one of the areas that we see where there's a lot of waste is in energy. The energy usage, whether in business or residential customers. So for business customers, we're pushing energy solutions, which is renewable systems, which are a grid-tied system that allows them to stay on the grid, but benefit from the use of the sun. And for our residential customers, is a wide range of energy-saving devices that also allow them to enjoy the things that they like, but to use energy responsibly. And ultimately, that money can be used now for other things that goes into education, recreation, and generally building out their lives how they would want to live it. We've always seen corporate mingles as an opportunity to talk one-on-one, especially with small and micro enterprises. And we will continue to support corporate mingle because we can see it as only beneficial for this country.
What is your main purpose for attending Corporate Mingle?
Certainly the networking. CME has produced, because I've been to other networking events before, but I think I like the method that they use in terms of how they get the people involved, just the whole layout, and just the type of businesses that they get into the space. You have a multiplicity of different types of like, for instance, for this different MSME sector, which I think is a good broad-based one. And based on what I do as well, it's useful for me to come out and know what is happening with micro businesses or medium-sized businesses. So for me, the key takeaway is the exposure to what is happening in the sector, learning about some of the key players, and building or certainly meeting new persons that you can interact with to help and advance some of what you're doing. So I think that is very, very important. Always being able to keep abreast of what is happening in the sector, who are the players in the sector, how can I interact and benefit, and how can I give in terms of what I am doing to support what is happening in the sector.
JNSBL, firstly, is the #1 microfinancing entity in Jamaica. We have been around for 21 years, and our function basically is servicing the MSE sector, persons in microfinancing, that kind of thing, persons who are on a small scale business. That's what we do. And we offer several suites of loans. Basically, every year we keep on coming up with different kinds of loans to suit each and every unique person or unique business within our corporate or small business sector. And so as it is now, we have our TEF loan, where we basically partner with the Tourism Enhancement Fund, which is a government entity that offers assistance to not just corporate entities, but also to other persons who are trying to do business within the tourism sector. So as it is, we have one of our 5% loans. It's quite awesome for persons within the tourism sector. So if you're in craft, if you're in transportation, if it is that you are trying to add or to start from scratch building a villa of sorts, we offer up to 25 million for that as well. And so as I said, we partner with the Tourism Enhancement Fund, so it comes at 5%, which is ridiculously low.
are serious about the business of real estate, so catch Home Sweet Home Sundays at 4:30 p.m. or if you missed it, check our website at vatvja.com.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
So Bumblebee Digital Agency, we're a digital agency. Very new to Jamaica. We started in July. We're the only ones who really offering Wi-Fi advertising on the JUTC buses, Juta and Tropical Tours. This is really offered in 15-minute sessions, so it's free Wi-Fi to the commuters, and the advertising space is available before. So when the user goes on to the JUTC bus and they access the Wi-Fi by Growth Tech, they receive a splash page that just says Wi-Fi is here, and they complete a form that asks for their age, gender, and email address, maybe telephone number. After they complete that form, they see a 30-second ad. When the 30-second ad finishes, they experience 15 minutes of free Wi-Fi session uninterrupted. Other than Wi-Fi advertising, we also offer social media management as well as other forms of digital advertising. So we're really full service. So once you want to do something extremely creative with your brand, then Bumblebee is here to bring the buzz everywhere.
One of the good things about attending Corporate Mingle is that you get to meet persons who are not normally privy to the Nissan brand, and they tend to not want to come downtown. So it's a way of bringing downtown and Nissan up to this section.
What was your expectation of the evening, and was your expectation met, or were your expectations met?
Yes, handed out a few business cards, met a couple of persons, and looking at some of the booth as well. I actually purchased something, so I'm hoping to get a sale as well. So that's one of the good things about coming to the Corporate Mingle, because you get to meet people and hope to capitalize on persons buying a vehicle. Because even though we only have one vehicle at the expo now, we actually carry a wide range of other vehicles. Come on down to Fidelity Motors, the home of Nissan. We have all 2019 models available. The Nissan X-Trail, we have that in 2 packages. We have our pickup, which is the Nissan Frontier. For commercial persons, we have the 16-seater buses. We have those in automatic as well as a manual transmission. And those are mostly for our Juta customers, so they can come on down to Fidelity Motors.
We have Keyman Insurance, that if you have like a business and stuff like that, you can do insurance for your partner, stuff like that. We also have critical illness, because that's a problem right now in Jamaica, right? So we have a lot of 2 products that we actually do critical illness on. Since December, we have actually launched our individual health insurance. A lot of persons were actually asking for that, so we launched that December gone. So we're in the business of doing individual health insurance. Once we used to do group, now we're doing individual. So as an individual person, you can actually come in and sign up and get your card and stuff like that.
Let me add to that. We have plans that fit the needs of all persons, because we have plans that for persons, we have medical plans and we have non-medical plans, right? And for instance, you can't pass a medical. We have a plan that can facilitate that purpose. You have persons who have pre-existing condition, so we provide insurance that everybody can have an insurance policy, whether it's to prepare for your family or it's just for yourself. We have investment policies that you can benefit from, and our interest rate at Guardian is very attractive.
Why did Guardian Group decide to come on Exposé tonight?
Well, because to showcase our products for one, and to show the public how much we care for their needs, and we have a variety of products to offer to persons who would like to come and be a part of Guardian Life.
firstly, I want to say thank you to CME for executing this wonderful event. I think it's an excellent platform for small to large businesses to come by and showcase all their products. Not to mention, it's just an excellent way to network and have a wonderful time on a Friday evening. So my name is Roxanne Wise-Shirley. I'm here at the Corporate Mingle event. I'm here representing the Guardsman Group. We're actually here to showcase our newest product, which is called the Lapo. The Lapo is actually a Bluetooth tracking device, which pretty much can track anything that you frequently lose or anything that you want to find very quickly. So I actually have it here. It's a small device that you can put on your car keys, your house keys, you can put it on your handbag, a laptop bag, your pet, your child, literally anything you can think of that you want to find. So it comes with an app, so you download the app is free, and this Lapo actually communicates with the app. So if you want to find something, all you have to do, go on the app on your phone, you can press the alert, and then this Lapo will start beeping. Not only will it beep to alert you as to where it is, but the app will actually show you exactly where the Lapo is or how close you are to the Lapo. Oh my gosh, everybody loves it. Firstly, there is no other device on the market like this. This is the first time that this is hitting Jamaica. So everyone is just amazed by it because everybody's like, really? This thing can let me find my phone easily? It can let me find my car keys, you know? So everybody's very, very excited about it. And so we're very happy to get that response. So, I mean, everybody loves it. I mean, I love it. The entire Corporate Mingle seems to love it. And we've already gotten a lot of sales from it. So we're very excited.
What are the functions of the BSJ?
The Bureau of Standards Jamaica is a government agency, and at this point we are seeking to highlight the fact that we are a service organization helping to facilitate persons involved in industry. The first thing that we do, we help to set standards, and in addition to setting standards, we also offer training in a range of standards-related areas, including HACCP, good manufacturing practices, labeling. We also provide testing and calibration services, certification through our national certification body of Jamaica, and the Bureau of Standards Jamaica is seeking to help industry understand the importance of the use of standards to excel in business here in Jamaica and to excel in business outside of Jamaica.
So how does participating in Corporate Mingle help to boost your brand?
Well, certainly the BSJ recognizes, as we have done a bit of rebranding in the last year and a half, and we are less a regulatory body, it's critical that we present to industry and the persons, key players in the industry, what are the services we offer. We are hoping that by being here, many of those persons who participate, who need to access services, will recognize that the BSJ provides testing, provides calibration, and offers training in a range of areas. It really can only help to advance our cause and to improve our bottom line.
Another Business Access TV coverage of the Wealth Magazine Corporate Mingle SME Mini Expo 2018. I've been your host, Amita Pasado, and thank you for tuning in to Business Access TV, serious about business.
I wanted to be an educator because I believe that education is the most powerful weapon that can change the world.
My dreams and aspiration is to one day become an entrepreneur where I can employ other persons and help to build the country.
I wanted to go into development. I wanted to help people become better versions of themselves. Growing up, I saw a lot of violence, I saw a lot of crime, I saw a lot of poverty. The challenges are so many. The first one that comes to mind is the level of youth unemployment that's here.
Challenges that exist here in West Prospect Bogwalk are lack of awareness for educational opportunities or job opportunities.
Not many got the chance to do CXC or graduate from the secondary level. So that's a major setback for the people living in the community.
A way to alleviate this issue is training programs.
They need more opportunities, like to go back to school to get themselves a certificate so they can be able to work and create employment for themselves and their family.
Push more entrepreneurship opportunity, encourage these youths to be creative and innovative in what they do. Give them startup capital to start their business. Invest more in the youth skills and talents.
The Poverty Reduction Program is funded by the European Union, and it really is a program that focuses on the most vulnerable type of communities, making communities safer, making citizens more healthy, better access to education.
For European Union, investing in youth is an obvious choice. They are the future of the country. If we prepare them well, they will bring the change that Jamaica needs. That's why we invest in scholarships, internship, training in life skills and mentorship.
I received a tertiary scholarship from PRP to attend the University of Technology, Jamaica. It meant a lot to me because I realized that somebody else believed in me and somebody saw the potential that I have and somebody believed that I could actually achieve my goal.
I benefited by getting firstly an internship, and also they assisted my bachelor's degree financially. But critically, outside of the finances, the persons that were on the project, you know, the motivation that they provided, etc., it really provided a huge boost.
This is my third year at the MICO. This scholarship, it helped me to be able to focus only on my education here, because tertiary education is not cheap.
I was placed at ODPEM on the one-year internship program. It was really good. It was an opportunity for me to prove myself, to give myself a service, and also to gain experience in the working world, and to also provide for my family.
I plan to be an agent of change in my community by being a mentor, a leader, and a godfather for the youths growing up. Try to help them teach them a trade.
You don't have to be rich to help. You don't have to achieve greatness to start. I contributed to my basic school by providing them with the necessary resources that they need, that I believe that in the long run, it will have a ripple effect on many, many persons.
Professionally, I manage the whole program, which is aimed at giving young persons the opportunity to, do what I did, basically, to get their foot inside an organization. Additionally, I also have a little small business that I try to employ young persons to learn a skill, etc.
When you're persistent in life, when you're determined, when you're hungry for success, then you'll be able to accomplish and achieve anything that you want.
It has changed hundreds and hundreds of lives. Not just my life, my family lives, my friends' lives, etc. I want to just urge everyone looking on to continue these social programs. These are the solutions to the many ills that we face as a society and as a country and even as a world. So thank you, and I challenge you, continue it. It's needed.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up a Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Did you know that the grand finals of the Jamaica Festival Song Competition will be held tomorrow at the Randy Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston? Yes, at 8 p.m. 11 finalists will compete for the coveted title of 2019 Jamaica Festival Song winner and millions of dollars in cash and prizes. You don't want to miss it. Hello there. Thanks for making it Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson, your host for the next half hour. Stay tuned for further information on this year's Jamaica 57 celebrations and more.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, July 26. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the next phase of the Housing Opportunity Production and Employment HOPE program is to be rolled out shortly. This will entail institutionalizing the employment and training aspects of the program.
I'm very satisfied and I'm very happy to see the program come to this point where we can now say we have tested it, it has worked, and we are now going to bring the program to the institutional phase where it will be a constant feature of the development of Jamaica.
The Prime Minister was speaking during the final stop of a tour of HOPE projects across the Covert area on Wednesday. He explained that in this next phase, HOPE would probably move from the office of the Prime Minister and be placed under an agency that can carry it more effectively. The Prime Minister added that the opportunities component was being developed and would be launched soon along with the production aspect.
We have already decided that for the production component, we're going to be focusing on getting young people into agriculture using technology.
The housing component, which was launched recently, will be provided at a later date. HOPE was launched by the Prime Minister in 2017 and targets persons aged 18 to 24 who are not employed or enrolled in a school or program of training. Through HOPE, approximately 24,000 young people have been impacted over the last 2 years and have now become ambassadors for the program. Currently, 6,000 youth are being trained under the initiative. 78 courtrooms are now able to facilitate digital audio technology, while 19 courtrooms can accommodate audiovisual devices. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says the move is to secure witness statements in court trials. His message was delivered recently by Executive Director of the Legal Aid Council, Hugh Faulkner, at the opening of the two-day Witness Care Conference.
We at the Ministry of Justice stand ready to step up to the plate and play our part in ensuring that systems are in place to advance the role of witnesses in the justice process. With this technology, witness intimidation in the courtroom will be significantly reduced.
The provision of digital audio recordings in court proceedings falls under the Ministry's Justice Undertakings for Social Transformation, JUST project. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, says government is moving expeditiously to have the Sexual Harassment Bill enacted. A joint select committee of Parliament has been named to review the legislation.
We will convene the joint select committee meetings and move expeditiously to sign off on the bill to ensure that we have this legislation in place which will address sexual harassment in the workplace, where accommodations are involved, landlord and tenant, and also in institutions.
Minister Grange says government is also looking at addressing the issue of sexual harassment in the tourism industry. The Sexual Harassment Bill was tabled in the House of Representatives on July 9. It outlines the types of conduct that constitute sexual harassment and prohibits certain actions. Government's Public Investment Management Secretariat, PIMSEC, has given conditional approval for the renovation of the National Stadium and the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium. Sport Minister Olivia Grange says PIMSEC has also provided the funding to engage a consultant for the projects. The consultant is tasked to craft a business plan for the development and operation of both facilities.
I've informed this Honourable House that it was our intention to upgrade our aging National Stadium to make it more customer-friendly and more compliant with international sports governing bodies. I also made mention of our intention to develop the Trelawney Stadium to the point where it could be placed at the centre of our sport tourism thrust.
Minister Grange was delivering her sectoral presentation in Parliament on Tuesday. She said the stadium projects were valued at approximately $40 million. Meanwhile, $163,785,000 have been spent to complete other sport infrastructure projects across the island. And finally, Jamaica 57 celebratory activities commence tomorrow with the grand finals of the Festival Song Competition. The Jamaica Festival Song Contest is slated for Randy Williams Entertainment Center in St. Andrew at 8 p.m. This year's competition has 11 finalists instead of the usual 10. The celebratory period includes other popular events such as the Miss Jamaica Festival Queen Grand Coronation, World Reggae Dance Championship, Mellow-Go-Round, Jamaica Gospel Song Grand Finals, Pop and Variety Grand Finals, and Grand Gala on Independence Day.
This year, the gala will serve as the start of our observation of the decade for people of African descent. Our special guest this year will be the President of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta, who will be here on a state visit. This year, we will also, at the gala, honor two of our celebrated entertainers. In the past, we have honored Jimmy Cliff, Damian Marley, and others. And this year, we will be honoring Rita Marley and Sizzla.
The Culture Minister has also revealed the fashion theme for this year's celebrations.
Fashion theme this year is roots and culture, meaning that with the diversity in our culture, whatever is your roots, you can wear your sari, you can wear your African wear, you can wear whatever you identify with as your roots and your culture.
Germs do.
Pink eye running belly even flu. Germs can make them happen to you.
Put germs on our manners with these. Cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Always wash your hand with water and soap. Keep dirty hands from your eyes and your nose and your mouth. You don't want to be sick, take care. Practice every day, no germs on here. Message from the Ministry of Health.
Have you ever heard about the Get on the Bike program? This initiative, which was launched in collaboration with Government Citizen Security and Justice Program, seeks to equip young adults with the knowledge and empowerment they need to achieve their career goals and objectives. Here's more.
Well, Get on the Bike is the title of a book that I have written, and the purpose of the book was to help persons not only to dream, but to dream bigger. Sometimes we have a goal in life, and instead of pursuing it, we say, I'm not educated enough, I'm not bright enough, I'm not experienced enough. So Get on the Bike is a metaphor to say whatever you want to achieve in life, you can do it. Go for it.
Yes, Marsha's Get on the Bike initiative was launched in 2019 to empower and engage teenagers and young adults in various schools, churches, inner city communities, and rural areas across Jamaica.
For schools, I reach out to the guidance counselors and ask if they have a group they would want me to speak with. I work closely in my own church community. I attend the Temple Mennonite Church, so during Sunday school, sometimes I will talk to the youth department or the young adults. I engage them in that way. And then for community outreach, I'm in touch with some social workers, persons who are already in the field, and I make linkages through that way.
The program is being executed in collaboration with Government Citizen Security and Justice Program. It provides teenagers and young adults with the knowledge and motivation they need to achieve their individual goals and dreams.
It can be dreams in terms of a better family life. It could be dreams in terms of acquiring a job. It could be dreams in starting a business. So we provide the strategy or the roadmap for persons to realize their dreams.
Some of the youngsters who have recently benefited from the program are a group of students from the Operation Friendship Skills Training Institute in Kingston.
Today, what we want to talk about is workplace readiness. Let me see the hands of those who have actually worked already. Have you been in the workforce already? A few of us have been in the workplace already. Well, this program is going to teach us what are the things we need to do to prepare for the world of work. One of the best means of getting a job is what? Word of mouth. If somebody doesn't know that we are seeking a job, nobody can help us. So if we are seeking a job, one of the first things we ought to do is to let somebody know. After we have done that, we want to develop what we call our resume or our CV. It's very easy, very easy. Start at the top with our name, then we go to our address, then the telephone number, then our qualification or experience, whichever is stronger. What are some of the questions they are going to ask us in the interview? Why do you need a job? Yes. Where you have worked before? Certainly.
During these free interactive sessions, Marsha even gives advice on how to tackle some of the most intimidating interview questions.
Some persons get a little timid when somebody asks, so what is your weakest area? Sometimes they ask that in the interview. The best answer for that is something that is not too outrageous, but something that we have worked on and we have improved and we are now professional in that area.
I think the session has a great impact on us as students because not every student is aware of how to operate within the work field and know what to do and where and when, how to go about doing it. Coming here, showing us the steps and what to do from what not to, like having our name, the address, work experience, our qualifications and the information about us, that will help us to know what to do in able to get our work.
But preparing students for the world of work is just one of the focus areas of the Get on the Bike program. During a recent weekend visit to the Ocho Rios Mennonite Church in St. Anne, participants of the program were briefed about another important lesson, SWOT.
Let's start from the top. So strengths. Strengths are the things that we are very good at. A strength could be good interpersonal skills, good team building skills. It could be a fantastic smile. Weaknesses. These are things that we are not so good at. So the weakness could be we have poor time management skills. We are not organized, always late. Things like that would be considered a weakness. Things that we need to improve on. The O stands for opportunity. This is something external to us. So in our area, are there hotels being open, other areas of employment? That would be seen as an opportunity. The threat would be like similar to the weakness, but it's external. We can't do anything about it right away. Perhaps a threat would be poor transportation service within my area. Why do we do this? We do it so that we are more in tune with what we can accomplish. Not only that, we are more open to changes, and when changes come, we are not flustered.
Good session, and it's very informative. Doesn't matter the age group or where you are in your career goal right now.
I recently graduated from high school, and it is a great opportunity for me because I'm job hunting.
And there's just one more question I know you might be asking. Why the title Get on the Bike?
A bike to me represents freedom, it represents creativity, some amount of skill, and always going forward.
And there you have it. For more information on how you can get on the bike, email Marsha Norman at marshanorman2017@gmail.com.
Similar to the Get on the Bike initiative, there is a government program that is doing wonders for unattached youth. Learn more about the Housing Opportunity Production and Employment HOPE program next.
Growing up, I didn't have no parent, nowhere to go. I was just stranded. I started to live in Crossroads because I didn't have nowhere else to go. So what I would do when I'm at Crossroads, I would stay in Mothers by day, and by night I would get a piece of cardboard and sleep at the bus stop beside of Mothers in Crossroads. I will walk and beg, or I will stay in Mothers for the whole day, begging passbys or so forth, till I find myself again money now. So I'd always have a phone, so I use that money that I get, buy credit, put on the phone and put on service, data, and find out about all of the ministries and so forth. And I will sit there and call the different ministries, from the Chief of Defense Staff Office to the Minister of Education, the Prime Minister's Office, all of those. So I keep on calling and keep on calling till I call the Prime Minister's Office again, and a secretary, I talk to her till I tell myself, say, I can't take it no more. I start crying, I tell the lady, say, Miss, please just help me. Please, I beg you, help me. And the lady say, young man, I will guarantee you that I will help you. So don't worry yourself. She called me back like an hour after or so forth, and she said to me that I got to a person that I think will most likely help you in your situation, which his name is Mr. Martin Rittman. He is the head coordinator of the HOPE program. An hour after, Mr. Rittman called me, and he introduced himself, and I introduced myself, and I tell him my story all over again. He told me that he can help me out with something to do, a skill and a job or so I can gain some form of income, so I could buy hygiene products and clothes and so forth. So he directed me to the Art and Ripon Road, where he told me to bring all relevant documents like ID, TRN and so forth to that place on Ripon Road, and speak to the secretary and tell her that Martin Rittman, the head coordinator of the HOPE program, sent me here. He told me that I should go to a school that's on South Camp, UWI Open campus. I went for 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks I spent at UWI Open campus at South Camp Road, I then moved on to a government agency for work. I started off processing in the computer all documents that come in. I will be the one who lodge it in the computer and send it off to the different departments. But now I'm a customer service rep at the moment, because my supervisor told me that my talent is wasted where I'm at right now. I don't do much more than lodge the documents in the system and so forth. So she gave me more hands-on training that would more fit my criteria.
I think it is a good motivator in the sense that, it gives them some purpose of living, coming, doing something, knowing that he's responsible for something that is such a vital aspect of our daily activities. He dresses well, always on time, and he takes pride in whatever, what is assigned to him. Meaning he works really hard, and whenever he's not here, they miss him.
This particular day now, I think it's the following week, after Martin Rittman helped me out with the HOPE program and so forth. I saw a lady Just a random lady, I was begging and so forth. And the lady see me and she started to talk to me and ask me, why am I here and so forth. So I told her and I spoke with her and she take me into Mother's, she buy me a patty and a juice. And we were talking, just talking and talking. And then she asked me, do I want to come to stay with her? With a glad face, I accepted and said, yes, I would love to come home with you. When she took me in, it's like, you know, I was very welcome because just looking, I had a bed to sleep in that used to be a cardboard. I had food to eat that used to be me begging on the street just to make ends meet, just to eat a little patty or something. I had dumpling, she gave me all type of food that I longed to eat from a longer while.
You know the reason why I do it? God himself provide for me. That's me can feed myself, feed him, feed my 2 grandchildren then. Helping him is not a problem. Helping somebody when they are in need is the greatest thing for me.
I can put my life like the Titanic, if you ever seen that movie. It's like, you know, when the ship was sinking, there's a lot of persons like, them don't know what to do. Some people just jump off in the water because them can't. But I was there and like the ship has sink and it's like I tell myself, say, you know what, I'm not going to make this ship sink with me now. So I decided to just jump off. So when you jump off now, I decide say, you know what, I'm not give up, I'm not just drown so, I'm not just go down so. So I tell myself, say, you know what, I'm go swim. Till I see a light, and that light was Martin Rickman, who shined a lot of other lights for me to a lot of different islands, a lot of different places.
Do you feel you have a purpose in life but just need help finding it? You're probably not alone. And like many before and after you, a bit of motivation at the right time can make all the difference. Listen as Dr. Wayne Henry from the Planning Institute of Jamaica shares valuable information you need to hear.
Develop a sense of purpose that says you're not here by accident. You are here for greatness. You are here with destiny in mind. You are supposed to do something great, and you're on that pathway. There are persons who are in the departure lounge of life, at the end of their life, and they look back and they have regret because they never took time to uncover and develop a sense of purpose. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do before I leave this 7 billion people planet called Earth? What am I supposed to accomplish? Having a sense of greatness that's in you. You're talented, you have gifts and abilities. Some of you are good with numbers, some of you are good with words, some of you are good with both, some of you are artistic, creative, some of you are sports oriented, and there are many things. And you take time to discover what are you passionate about. What can I just do naturally? I can jump out of my sleep and do it easily. Speaking now to your talents and abilities, your giftings. All of these come into your sense of purpose. The things that you are to do in life as you are to impact people. When you dream, when you close your eyes, what do you see yourself doing? And knowing that the sky is the limit. Second thing I want to say quickly is that you must learn to persevere. I heard Marquis speak about perseverance. Everybody say perseverance. Sometimes we don't achieve much because we give up too easily. You have to learn, if you want good, your nose have to. Yes, man, you have to get your feelings hurt and still go on. When I was doing my PhD, boy, a man tell me, man, people seem to like you. Wayne, why don't you just leave this program and go back to your country? You have a master's. The PhD is not for you. Why don't go and make money? And that was a racist comment because I was black. I was the only black person in the program. And he was saying things that hurt me, and I didn't want him to see me offended. I left his presence, went into my room, and I cried. But I decided to continue in my effort for excellence. Are you hearing me? And so perseverance means to continue a course of action in spite of difficulty, in spite of opposition. When they fight you down, when bad mind reach you, and they're fighting you down, and they say you're not the right gender, young ladies, and they say you don't deserve to be here, don't pay no attention, press on nonetheless. And it means you also have to have the right people around you. Be careful of the company you keep. As you go through life, you're going to make mistakes. As you go through life, you may fail at something. You want people around you who can encourage you to get up again.
Jamaica 57 is just around the corner, and as customary, there are a host of activities for every Tom, Dick and Harry to enjoy. So listen up. Following the grand finals of the Jamaica Festival Song Competition at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center tomorrow, there will be a National Independence Church service on Sunday, July 28 at the Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center at 104 Waltham Park Road, Kingston 11. The Emancipation Jubilee is slated for July 31 at Seville in St. Anne. The National Arena will host the Miss Jamaica Festival Queen Grand Coronation on Emancipation Day, August 1. The World Reggae Dance Championship Grand Final on August 2. Mellow Go Round on August 3. The Jamaica Gospel Song Grand Final on August 4. And the Pop and Variety Grand Final on August 5. Grand Gala will be held on Independence Day, August 6, inside the National Stadium. We have a lot to celebrate as a nation. So let's come on out and support all these Jamaica 57 celebratory activities that have and continue to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Come to represent from a Jamaican era then. We heroes fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and abroad. Hero them fight very hard, so we can enjoy with hard. We heroes fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and abroad. Hero them fight very hard, so we can enjoy with hard. Whoa, this a sweet, sweet Jamaica land. I don't know so the 6-0 come from. Not to mention the heroin one. You check Poland when Annie come from. You want to know about Paul Bogle? You go online and start to Google. Cause St. Thomas that a fi me ballad. Alright, that's a Paul Bogle come from. Cause them fight very hard. Them have to fight with the hard and abroad. Hero them fight very hard. So we can enjoy we hard. Hero them fight very hard. Them have to fight with the hard and abroad. Hero them fight very hard. So we can enjoy we hard. Whoa, equal rights all are we fear. Who said that no Marcus Garvey? I wish one never beg no pardon. The same one George William Garden. Cause me a sing me feel it from the heart. When me remember my beer where they make some sharp. Spanish to me go lick me auntie. She said don't want to me issue go post a manty. Say them fight very hard. Them have to fight with the hard and abroad. Hero them fight very hard. So we can enjoy with that.
And this is the final stop in today's magazine. Thanks for journeying with us. To watch today's program, again, simply visit our website, jis.gov.jm. And don't forget that you are able to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Have yourselves a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access. Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Business
Business Access TV was on location at the Def Can Coffee Sip and Sign E3 Cafe launch as part of their Social Enterprise Boost initiative. Stay tuned for the highlights.
It's wonderful to be a part of SEBI, an organization or initiative that is assisting different organizations in terms of building their own community. For here in particular, I really love the fact that we are a part of an initiative that is empowering the deaf to actually grow their community, to be successful in their community.
So why are you here today, and what does E3 Cafe mean? It means engage, equip, empower. That's our focus at Def Can Coffee. We want deaf youth to not feel negative about themselves, but we want to engage them in the process, get them included, where we can show them that you can. And then through that, they'll get equipped with the skills. So as they see me as a talented, skilled barista, I'll teach them what to do, they'll get the skill, and then that will lead to them being empowered, and then they can show to themselves and the rest of the world that they can. So here at the E3 Cafe, what we'd like you guys to think about is renting the space for your next meeting that you need to have. We can set the space up with tables, you can have a private meeting here. We have many amenities. We have great coffee, really comfortable environment. We have a nice television where you can do presentations from. We have Wi-Fi here from Digicel, private bathroom, and you know that you're gonna help build Jamaica. So today you're going to taste several different Jamaican coffees and also a couple of non-Jamaican coffees, so you can see how coffee tastes different based on where it's grown. So we're going to go in a circle later and you're going to get to taste each one of them. So first thing we're going to do is smell it before we put the water on it. So get in a circle and just follow me. So now we're going to put water on it. So now we're going to show you the technique for breaking the crust and smelling the release of the aroma when you move the coffee grounds on the top surface. I'm going to take this here and brush it across the top. It's going to release the aroma. So sometimes you might smell things like fruity elements in some coffees and others you may not. So now we're going to take the coffee grounds off the top layer and then we're going to taste the coffee. So the next process is tasting. You're going to really slurp the coffee and you're going to try to spray it into the back part of your mouth where you're going to be able to smell and taste better than in the front part of your mouth. So it makes a loud sound, but you're going to have to slurp it hard.
SEBI was designed to assist social enterprises to become more efficient businesses. Jane Foundation is a charitable organization really designed to help to meet the needs in Jamaican communities, and what we found was that most of the NGOs or not-for-profits depend heavily on donor funding, and the initiatives were not very sustainable. After a while, once the project funding ends, then the outcome, is reduced. And so we decided to introduce the social enterprise business model, which introduces a more sustainable way of delivering services in Jamaican communities, where the enterprises would earn their revenue so that they can support their social mission. That is really what SEBI is about, strengthening social enterprises, which are businesses that support a social or environmental mission.
So last year you had a competition, DEFCON 1. Talk to us about if you will be having any projects this year.
Last year we had our Pitch for Purpose competition, which targeted social enterprises. And we had a number of social enterprises competing for $1 million. As a matter of fact, we partnered with Digital Foundation in that competition. And DEFCON, Carlisle and Fabian went up and they did their presentation in sign language, and they impressed the audience, they impressed the judges, and they were selected as having really the best model at the time. They delivered really well. And this year really is a testament to the potential that DEFCON has in terms of their growth in employment, growth in revenue, growth in the kinds of partnerships that they have been forging with the private sector. And we did the competition last year. This year we're focusing on really helping a group of enterprises, 14 enterprises to be exact, in our Business Accelerator program. These enterprises have the potential to boost their revenue. And all our enterprises is not just about revenue, it's about the purpose of that revenue. For DEFCON, it is about engaging, equipping, and empowering persons from the deaf community. And that is what this event is really about, the Sip and Sign event that we're doing tonight.
As a teacher for over 8 years, we need to realize that the children are our future. We need to love them, appreciate and respect our children. No more violence against children. No more!
This is used for latte and cappuccino to make it thick, foamy. The cappuccino is a little bit more thick than the latte in terms of the quality and foam. Why do we keep it in the fridge? Because when we're ready to order, when the customer is ready to order, we will know the temperature, and then it will keep it, the air and everything, the taste on a perfect level. Once it's cool, eventually this will turn it will come. So now I'm going to show you using water. The most important thing about this is to keep the pitcher cold at all times.
It was very good. The coffee was so good, the pastry excellent, and then to know that persons are deaf and can do all these things, it is a good experience.
And would you recommend persons to come here?
Sure, because you need to support persons who are not able like you, and this is a good venture.
Today was awesome. I am leaving here empowered. I've learned so much today. We went through this fabulous session where we learned to say some words and communicate in sign language. And then we had these 2 sessions where we learned how to make latte, and then we learned about cupping and smelling and roasting and different types of scents and flavors. And it really struck me that here was an establishment where I could go and learn something, and it's not necessarily that you couldn't just walk into any establishment in Jamaica and somebody would teach you what it is that they do. I've never had that experience, so it really struck me that how empowering it was for me
there is no one word to really express what the experience was like today. First of all, the E3 Cafe, which really stands for Engage, Equip and Empower, and that is what they did. And it is powered by DEFCAN. And there's so many things that we took away from it, but off the top of my head, it's number one that we must have respect for the deaf community. Seeing them or hearing that they're deaf does not mean that they are disabled by any means. They do not want pity. They do not want handouts. And they tell you that with a sense of pride. What they want is for you to respect the fact that they're hardworking Jamaicans, bringing this service, this barista service to Jamaica. And it is something that we have to really get up and look at our communities and to see how we can support them better. So that's the first aspect of the go. So they also taught us different communication, how they communicate, and they taught us some special words. So, learning to say thank you and coffee and great, and I just think they're so cool. We learned things like that, and that also made us feel inclusive, and I really like that. But to take it to the next level, what they did was they showed us how to prepare espresso and cappuccino, and you really get a sense of pride when they work. Each of them knew exactly what his or her role was and how they could really move around their space efficiently. Something that I will not forget, even when we went and we did the cupping and the smelling of all the different coffee and the coffee beans, is the fact that something that we look at them as being a weakness is a strength for them. So their heightened sense of smell and touch allows them to be better baristas than the normal-bodied, well-able persons can be.
What has your experience been? What's your impression overall of the Sip and Sign?
Excellent, really good. The E3 Cafe is another pastry, and they want to open it up to the public to schedule meetings, do trainings here. They have the facility here, and today it's about introducing persons to the DEFCAN experience, where they enjoy the food here and also learn the very basics of sign language. So that is really the Sip and Sign, and we have specially invited persons who we really want to influence booking of events and really tap into their own networks to boost business for DEFCAN.
And finally, building a strong and independent social enterprise sector requires many different stakeholders. Have you been receiving further partnerships?
Definitely. SEBI does not just focus on the enterprise. Yes, we do have a business accelerator now coming from 2 stages of incubator programs. And that is really about proving that the business model can work. But the business model alone would not be enough. It's not enough to ensure that the enterprises survive beyond 5 years or so on. They require an enabling business environment, an entire ecosystem. That is why we worked on getting social enterprise included in national policy. So the revised MSME and entrepreneurship policy now includes social enterprise. And as a result, you see several other organizations really including the social enterprise model as a tool for development. So on the policy side, social enterprise has been included. In terms of building out that community of support for social enterprise, the network is growing. And we saw where we staged 2 summits and had over 500 participants, which shows that people are interested. But everybody has a role to play. The enterprises really need capacity building, capacity strengthening. SEBI has done that through the Business Accelerator and Incubator programs. And everyone in their ordinary space can really create a positive impact on social enterprise. You do that by using the power in your purchase. Every time you buy from a social enterprise, you not only satisfy your own need, but you help the social enterprise to increase their impact, to deliver greater service to the communities that they serve. And what is unique about social enterprises is that they serve marginalized, often vulnerable communities. So we say to the entire Jamaica, choose to buy from social enterprises. SEBI created a unique bisocial trademark which identifies social enterprise. So when you see that Buy for Good bisocial trademark, use the power in your purchase to really support social enterprises.
I was quite pleased. I was delighted to be a part of the event. I had no idea what it was previously. And now that I've seen it for myself, I am totally ecstatic. I'm blown away by the sheer knowledge that they've acquired to put on this event, and the fact that they're entrepreneurs doing their very best to bring a wow experience to coffee. It's incredible. I just love it. The taste of the coffee is just amazing. I learned more about coffee. I thought I knew a lot about coffee, but apparently I didn't know enough. So I'm quite delighted. And in terms of the sign languages that goes along with it, they're very knowledgeable. They're just incredible group of people, and I'm delighted to have been here, really.
I thought it was great. It was very insightful, and a lot of information was shared. I've known DEFCAN for 2 years, and I brought my students here, and even that time we didn't do any signing. So that was really interesting. It was interesting to see how complex it is and simple at the same time, and the whole event was very nice. It was interesting.
Well, I too think it was awesome. I think that I've learned so much here, not only about the deaf experience, but also coffee. And I'm associated with 2 schools off the Mountain View Avenue. And I know that in both schools, one is a basic school, one is a prep school, kinder prep school. And we teach sign language in both the schools. And being here, I feel that the Ministry of Education should really consider making sign language mandatory in our educational curriculum, so that we all can communicate with everybody. And so this has really opened my eyes, and I hope many people come to this wonderful cafe and experience this. It's easy to get to, and it's very central, and I really recommend it. I will recommend it to many, many people.
Last year, DEFCAN won the SEBI Pitch for Purpose competition, and you have now transitioned to the accelerator phase. Talk to us about that.
So everything that we've been learning through the SEBI program the last 2 years, like financial management, how to invest our money, how to cost things properly, we're applying that to our business. So we did that in the Pitch for Purpose competition. We applied what we learned, had our vision, had our purpose, what we wanted to achieve through it. And we were a little bit nervous during the competition ourselves, not really sure that we would win. We honestly didn't expect to win first place, but we did. We won the top prize, $1 million, and we used that to invest in a bus. That bus is branded, and so everywhere we drive, it's sharing our message and it's marketing our company. We had an older bus, but it was not nearly as good, and the new bus now really helps us to market ourselves, helps us to go to more events, and really has helped us develop our business, because through those events, more people found out about us, and through that we got more partnerships. So the money we earn through the monthly events that we do at different places, that helps us to grow our business. And then that spread to the more partnerships. So we're at several different cafes and coffee shops across the island now, and it really has helped our business to grow.
And how was your experience this evening at the Sip and Sign?
Oh, it really felt so good. We've never had so many people come here at one time, and we really like to advocate with the rest of Jamaica to know what we're doing.
What happens next?
Right now, we want to just continue to educate people. We want people to know that we can. We're even going to other countries. We're going to Kenya to share the message of DEFCAN.
That's it from us here. Keep it locked to Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Evelyn Harris is a maroon healer in Jamaica. She has spent decades making a living from her knowledge of Jamaican plants and their healing properties. The products she makes from these plants are the resource.
You have to be curious to learn about herbs. This is dog's blood, and this one is good for infection or black tube. And this one is piaba, and the piaba is what good for women who's going through menopause.
She, like many others in the region, can share stories of how her knowledge has contributed to research without being properly credited or compensated. But all that will change as more Caribbean countries are getting on board with a Nagoya Protocol that will protect knowledge held by persons like Evelyn and will serve to preserve the natural resources she depends on. The Nagoya Protocol is an international agreement that focuses on the fair and equitable sharing of the benefits from the sustainable use of genetic resources. It is an agreement that researchers and prospective business developers that use the Caribbean's natural resources need to be aware of.
The Caribbean region has an abundant variety of marine and terrestrial biodiversity, including a high number of endemic species of flora and fauna. This richness is combined with a mix of cultures and traditional knowledge. Also, it is clear that Caribbean countries recognize the importance of their unique genetic resources and associated traditional knowledge, and at the same time know that sharing the benefits of the utilization of these resources can be a way to protect the rich natural resources and bring prosperity to Caribbean people.
The International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, in partnership with the United Nations Environmental Program, UNEP, and the Global Environment Facility, GEF, is working with regional governments, research institutions, and other partners in the Caribbean to support countries to promote the sustainable use of the region's resources.
The needs are envisioned at 3 levels. One is at local levels, working with local communities and indigenous groups. The second level is the national level, working mainly with government and key line agencies that are going to be somehow responsible to implement the protocol, that have competencies according to the national law and the international legislation. And the third level is the regional level, working with CARICOM, for example, with OECS, other regional bodies like tourism organizations or other pertinent bodies that has responsibilities as well in the provision of the Nagoya Protocol.
Regulations will also be established for prior informed consent to access resources and the negotiation of mutually agreed terms to maximize the benefits of the protocol.
The Nagoya Protocol specifically deals with the issue of access to genetic resources and the sharing of the benefits that are gained from those resources. Now, if you think about the issue of sustainable development, if you think about the issue of natural resource management, it is necessary for these countries, who in most cases are small island developing states or developing countries, they need resources to be able to protect these natural resources that we have, these genetic resources. And so any avenue that is going to assist with making sure that some of these benefits come back in order to sustainably use these resources is something that the IUCN is always interested in providing.
The Bahamas, for example, is a hotspot for access to genetic resources for research and development. But only in one case of successful commercialization has benefit sharing with a country on the basis of an ABS contract took place.
There is a soft coral, which is a wavy coral. It's harvested annually in the Bahamas. And an extract from that was the first source of chemicals which are used today in skin revitalizing anti-aging creams. One of the researchers from the University of California came to the Bahamas and discovered a class of compounds which have anti-inflammatory properties. Later on, over 100 products in the world have been developed from the extracts from this coral.
For practitioners such as Dr. Sylvia Mitchell, the protocol will change the way how local communities and indigenous people like the Amerindians, Maroons, and Rastafarians operate.
The indigenous and local communities have to be part of the process. A very important part that the Nagoya Protocol recognizes in this whole value chain is that there are local indigenous communities all over the biodiversity-rich areas that have, over many, many generations, developed recipes. And when you develop products in the end, many, many years later, creams, anti-cancer, whatever, many times that traditional knowledge has been taken into account, but it doesn't filter back to those local communities.
Several Caribbean countries have already started putting in the framework to benefit from the implementation of the Nagoya Protocol. In Guyana, certain key steps have been taken.
Guyana already had a system in place with regards to granting access to its genetic resources. And that system is basically done through the Environmental Protection Agency. We're the agency responsible for granting all access to persons coming into the country to do research. If persons want to enter a specific community to access a specific resource, they have to get the consent of that community. When that consent is received, what they do is they have to submit that to, we have Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs. And they would usually issue official permission saying the community has no objection with this person coming in to do such and such. When we have that, then we would issue our permit.
For Antigua and Barbuda, much has already been done, as these islands are in the process of depositing their ratification instrument.
This project will allow us to develop our regulations, to develop our policy, to set up our institutional infrastructure to now manage the issues. We don't know when any genetic materials and the associated traditional knowledge are being taken out of the country. We're not aware. It's only those people who will inform certain agencies or certain government agencies that they're taking them out. That only happens occasionally. But in instituting this Nagoya Protocol, in instituting our ABS regulations and policy, we'll be able to finally have a system to regulate this process.
The Nagoya Protocol is helping to preserve traditional knowledge that could be lost as elders die.
Over a period of time, people will come there, people have their complaints, people want to be treated for some ailments or whatever, and people will just come to folks who do what they have to do for them, but not necessarily telling them, you know, what is it I have done for you. Okay, if you come, you have a problem with your belly or your back or your shoulder or whatever, you will get the treatment for it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna know all the ingredients and stuff that goes into it. And even sometimes people would probably show to you, you might see an ingredient or two that they use, but it would be probably the least important of the ingredient that you would have seen.
As the Caribbean embraces new opportunities to benefit from our biological resources, we look to the future.
I represent 11 parishes across the island which have a membership about 5,000. These are traditional farmers who have been growing marijuana illegally for years. Now that we are on the way to have a formal industry, we are working hard to allow standards to fit their needs as grassroots people while working with governments and agencies across the world.
The Nagoya Protocol is opening doors for Caribbean people.
You're watching Business Access TV. Business Access. Business Access. Business Access. Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
BATV is here to bring you the highlights from the 5th Annual Joan Duncan Memorial Lecture, where DK Duncan will be delivering the keynote address on political leadership, an enabler or disabler to Jamaica's economic growth. I'm Javon Keys, and I'll be your host. Stay with us, much more after this.
The Joan Duncan School of Entrepreneurship, Ethics and Leadership, J.D. Seal, evolved out of a need for the University of Technology, Jamaica, as an academic institution to rise to the national challenge of addressing the endemic problem of unemployment by providing specific training to persons, particularly our youths, interested in starting their own businesses. It has been recognized the world over that developing the tools of entrepreneurship is one important way of promoting individuals to become their own sources of employment, given that established corporate entities are contracting in the economy. In other words, entrepreneurship is now a most invaluable tool in the arsenal of a country's strategy for national development. The government of Jamaica, through its 2030 vision document, highlights the importance of entrepreneurship in economic development, and the MSME and Entrepreneurship Policy document of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries states as follows, and I quote, "The MSME and Entrepreneurship Policy seeks to offer a comprehensive, targeted and coherent framework that will create a highly entrepreneurial sector that is characterized by innovative and competitive businesses that are supported by a rewarding institutional and regulatory environment. The achievement of the policy goals and objectives will therefore necessitate a partnership between key stakeholders within the public and private sectors and by associations representing the MSMEs." End of quote. In this regard then, the University of Technology, Jamaica, insightfully tagged the People's University, and I know DK would like that, is playing its part by being the first institution of its kind offering a specialized degree in entrepreneurship and also hosting under its umbrella a highly touted business incubator system. Under our business incubator called the Technology Innovation Center, the TIC, we have had clients winning numerous local and international awards, with two, Tyrone Wilson and Gordon Swaby, receiving the prestigious 50 Under 50 Award for Excellence in Youth Entrepreneurship by the Government of Jamaica in 2012. Then again, there's also Mrs. Valerie Grant, another client of the incubator here on the campus of UTech. She's Managing Director of Geotech Vision Enterprises, and she had also won several prizes, including the Commonwealth Woman Entrepreneur of the Year Award, the NCB National Builders Award in the category Women in Business, and the Business Excellence Forum of the Americas Award for Female Entrepreneur of the Year in 2015. And these are just some of the awards that have been given to clients of the incubator, which is part of the Joan Duncan School of Entrepreneurship, Ethics and Leadership. In the latest report from the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, GEM, it was shown that 85% of working-age Jamaicans agreed with the statement that most people in the country consider starting a business as a desirable career choice. Entrepreneurship as a career path is highly recognized and applauded in this country. Indeed, much status is accorded to successful Jamaican entrepreneurs, as according to the same GEM report, 85% in the category 18 to 64 age group also supported the statement that in this country, successful entrepreneurs receive high status. Incidentally, this GEM report, which is an international research tool, is produced right here in J.D. Seal under the College of Business and Management by our lecturers, all done for the nation of Jamaica. It is therefore most fitting, ladies and gentlemen, that as I welcome you to this signal event, the Joan Duncan Memorial Lecture, that I inform you of this important role being played by the school, which is fostering growth and entrepreneurial development in Jamaica. And it is also therefore with a deep sense of honor and humility that I have the distinct pleasure of bringing you greetings and welcoming you to this 5th lecture series. This is the 5th annual Joan Duncan Memorial Lecture, and it is in aid of recognizing the benefactor for the school, who is Joan Duncan, and it recognizes the contributions that persons have made in the field of entrepreneurship, as well as in the area of ethics and leadership, because that's the name of the school, Entrepreneurship, Ethics and Leadership. So each year we decide to concentrate on different aspects of that subject. One year we'll do entrepreneurship, another year we will do ethics, and another year leadership. This year we're looking at the area of leadership. As I said, as part of the tripartite aspect of the school, and leadership in particular related to politics, so political leadership, and how that has affected the growth and development of our country. And of course we have the icon, Dr. D.K. Duncan, who is a stalwart in the area, who is going to dissect this subject. And of course we have a set of panelists, very qualified panelists, looking at various aspects of leadership. And that's going to be interesting. The Joan Duncan School of Entrepreneurship, Ethics and Leadership is the first of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean, offering a BSc degree in entrepreneurship. And that's an achievement in itself. In addition, the school and indeed the university is the first of its kind too to have as part and parcel of its portfolio an incubator, a business incubator. So you'll find in the Joan Duncan School of Entrepreneurship the Technology Innovation Center, which is well known throughout Jamaica as one of the incubators, one of the first incubators in Jamaica. And so we have clients within the incubator who are there to network, to be mentored in terms of developing their businesses. And students interact with these live clients, these live entrepreneurs, and at the same time learn from them. And that in itself is a tremendous experience. So that is the basis in terms of the school. Each student, when they come to do the degree, unlike the other conventional students within the university, they have to come with a business idea. So the entire 4 years of development is surrounded a business idea that they may have, and then they look at the various aspects of developing that idea, including the business model, canvas, including looking at accounting for your business, finance, marketing, sales, and so on, all surrounding the business. So at the end of the period of when they're about to graduate, they should be ready to start a business.
They've asked me to talk on a question that people ask me every day, do politicians really believe polls, and are polls authentic? And I have a very easy answer to both of them, which I will share in the gathering. But yeah, I've been in polling for over 30 years, and I've survived political polling because politicians believe in what they hear. They don't always use it the way they should, and some of them fall awry as a result. But generally, I believe that politicians do place a lot of reliance on polls and actually use it for all kinds of strategies.
We go to a break. Stay with us. Much more after this.
Do you want more experience from your SUV? Introducing the 2020 Nissan X-Trail with leading-edge technology, intelligent ride and chassis control, a round view monitor, and hill start assist for confidence behind the wheel, plus auto headlights and panoramic sunroof. Drive the SUV with more experience. The Nissan X-Trail, available today at Fidelity Motors.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Hello, my name is Blake Widmer. I'm the co-founder of Def Can Coffee. The exposure that we had to the just general community through Business Access TV itself is awesome. It was a big deal for them, having the ATV come here, and we were with you guys for probably 4 hours that day. It was a long time. We really appreciate your guys' openness to recognize that, yeah, captions are important. If a deaf person's watching it, how are they going to understand what's being said? So Looking back is just a big boost, encouragement for our team. If you're a business or an organization that wants to have yourselves featured on BATV, or you want to do advertising with BATV, what I would tell them is that you guys listen well and you ask good questions, and that will help, at the end of the day, deliver a really good product for your business too.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Let's join our presenter on stage.
The manifesto of one party was a little more bread, a little more butter. And of the other was self-government and education. Anecdotally, it is said that the answer to the larger vision of self-government and education, the answer was that education can eat. Huh? And I don't know if we see, I'll only ask the question, if we see any manifestations of that kind of political behavior in our society at this time. It might have been a necessary thing to deal with the immediate needs of people. But in the end, without vision, the people perish. So a lot of things added up in the early years and the origins of political tribalism, and it developed through the years, the 40s, the 50s, into the 60s. It carried with it not only the distribution of housing in a partisan way, political violence, unions against unions, then later on political parties against political parties on election day in particular, then it spread. It spread. All of that came about under the leadership of political leadership at the time. So we can clearly say that from time to time, the political leadership in Jamaica has enabled actions which could lay the basis for retarding growth. Because if you're going to divert your workers from the kind of behavior that is necessary for increased productivity, obviously that's a part of the whole growth matrix. Recently, last week, Peter Bunting made his presentation in Parliament, and he asked the question, why is growth important? He didn't answer it himself, except by saying yes, but he quoted from an author who said, people at this point in time in world history, people are demanding their governments do more to impose their life, to improve their lives faster, something which policymakers are unable to deliver under conditions of anemic growth. Rising income inequality and a stagnant economy are threats to both the developed and the developed world, and leaders can no longer afford to ignore this gathering storm. But we have had this kind of situation in Jamaica for some 40 years or more, anemic growth. What is, I think, encouraging at this point is that there seems to be a convergence between the two political parties on some fundamentals in relation to macroeconomic stability, which I understand is necessary, if not necessarily sufficient, for growth to occur at some time. this has not been so for many, many years. It began in earnest just a few years ago with Peter Phillips and what they call the Economic Reform Program, which the people of Jamaica saw as the austerity program and voted them out, and has been continued by the present administration with the mantra of hoping for prosperity. Now, Dr. Nigel Clark, in a speech at the Jamaica Pegasus last Thursday, indicated the areas of macroeconomic indicators, etc., that are not only being followed now, but were initiated in a very substantive and substantial way in the last few years. But at the end of it, he says, economic growth, however, has lagged. In the discourse and the dialogue that has taken place in the last budget debate and in the recent week or two, there has been, what has been missing from it is the approach which has over the past years been seen to be blaming either Peter or Paul. Right? So that to me represents an advance in the way that the political leadership is handling our economy. Some of the ways over the past, in particular after political independence, that governments have tried to answer the question of speaking to the demands of the masses of the Jamaican people, whether it is 1838, whether it is 1938, whether it is now, right? Was to try to, when we got into office, either administration, was to try to coax the bureaucracy into implementing what the policies of the various administrations are. In the 60s, we had a plethora, if you remember, of institutions called statutory boards. That was a response by the political leadership to the demands of the people for improvement in their lives, because the bureaucracy that we had inherited from the British was stodgy and didn't move very well. That was followed by things called executive agencies. Politicians themselves, the leaders, some of us even went overboard with the appointments of aides, whether special assistants, personal assistants, all kinds of assistants, to try to ameliorate the policy delivery, the program delivery process. But those have ended up in a public sector which now is in need of, and has been in need of reform for donkey's years. I could go on and on to give examples of how our political leadership, in attempting to address the needs of the people. I don't, from my own experience interfacing with politicians, I don't accept that the vast majority of us intend to go in there and get rich. quickly. I have dealt with many politicians, and they have, most of them that I know, have gone into this thing with a good heart.
We take our final break, but don't go anywhere. We have more highlights for you after this.
I'm 36. I'm a husband, a manager, and still very good looking. In 2 hours, I have the most important meeting of my life. But first, it's time to play. The new Suzuki Vitara.
The business community has suffered tremendously due to extortion. Some have not just lost their businesses, their jobs, but lost their lives. This is extremely impactful to the growth of our country and to the progress of our people. We are our brother's keeper. Let's put a stop to this. No more use of force. No more use of fear. No more extortion. No more.
Thanks for staying with us, and if you're just tuning in, we're here at the 5th Annual Joan Duncan Memorial Lecture with DK Duncan. Now for more highlights.
I know the topic for this afternoon, political leadership, an enabler or disabler to Jamaica's economic growth. When I look at the history of Jamaica, going back, I think, before independence, and you look at the various periods of times, the different parties that have come in and out to help to manage and guide this country. If we take independence until now, pretty much, I think you could say the two major parties have been at the wicket almost, don't hold me to it, but almost equal. Almost. And I think when parties go into power, they tend not to want to continue things that the other side started. And so you get a lot of energy being spent reversing things, trying to put something new in place. And it's time, energy, it's money that's lost, that's just gone. Whether it could be something simple as repainting a school because they didn't like the color that it was painted, and I've seen examples of this in my growing up days. It's only recently, I think, that we have come to appreciate the power of, I should say, good policy continuity. And we've just seen that demonstrated most recently with the most recent IMF agreement, the most recent program. We didn't spend time saying we're going to try to renegotiate the program.
I believe that the most essential resource for development in any nation, any country, is a God-fearing, well-rounded citizenry whose basic physical needs are adequately met, their communities governed daily by sustainable values, and a well-educated populace, while the national affairs are managed by God-fearing leaders of impeccable integrity and moral rectitude, totally committed to human flourishing and the common good. Any form of leadership which is not guided and undergirded by the Judeo-Christian values under God will inevitably be a disabler to sustainable economic growth. As I listened to the presenter, I noticed that some of the challenges that he highlighted could be better handled and balanced by persons who are consistently submitting to the values of God, guided by the Spirit of God. I believe that a major question leaders in the political arena, and all leaders, but particularly in the political arena, since we're focusing on that this evening, is that once ask the question and grapple with who is your ultimate authority. Am I ultimately accountable to God, or to the party, my political party, or the various stakeholders who got me into office? To whom am I ultimately accountable? And once we have a clear understanding of that, then it would better enable us to make the right decisions which will redound to the best interest and welfare of the constituents. Political leadership has both enabled and disabled economic growth at different points in our history, as some of them were highlighted. And I believe that where there is creative tension among three pillars: relationship with God, relationship with the citizens, quality relationship with the citizens, and also quality relationship with the private sector, donor agency, and external governments, all this undergirded by the Judeo-Christian values and principles, then we will see political leadership being an enabler rather than a disabler.
My personal big takeaway from this discussion today is around the values, that we must have politics that are based on values. And that leads us to, once you create that value set that you live inside of, that last statement by Dr. Duncan, then gives you what is your own social consciousness that you live in, which then gives you that ideology. How do we articulate that ideology so that we can have a shared value set, a shared belief system, a shared system of belief in how our society should evolve, that would cause us to be empowered to get that kind of inclusive growth, is a question I think that we are left here to answer. Because we have not, over the years, we have kind of lost that, and we've become very transactional in the politics, really actually broken down to the point where we, as we say in Jamaica, we buy votes. That has to stop, so that instead of buying votes, people vote because they have true hope, not hope in jingling, not hope in growth as a thing in and of itself, but growth with a basis of creating the kind of society that we want, creating the value set that we want.
That brings us to the end of our coverage of the 5th Annual Joan Duncan Memorial Lecture. Until next time, I'm Javon Keys. Stay tuned to Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
I'm Arthur Miller, Managing Director at Miller's Furnishing. Miller's Furnishing was started by my dad about 35 years ago. Right, so we grew up in an environment where we saw him create a lot of creative furniture designs, both contemporary and traditional designs. So growing up in that environment, we wanted to find solution as to how we could enhance the business. Right, so when I entered Edna Manley, we had what you call a final year exhibition that we had to prepare for. So I used that exhibition as a platform to really get our name out there. And as a graphic design student at the time, I used my designing capabilities to really create that visual communication to depict to society what we offered and other ideas that they have that we could really transform into their living room space or their kitchen. In regards to the products, we offer 3 categories, what you would call the Victorian cutting edge, the Queen Anne style, and the modern movements, which is really Queen Anne style, and the Victorian cutting edge style is really traditional style furniture designs. The modern movement now is stepping somewhat into the future where there's a minimalistic style in how we approach furniture design based on what the client wants, because there are a lot of persons now asking for modern types of furniture and not the traditional type, so we're catering to that market as well. Dining tables, living room sets, we have chairs for patio areas. It varies. Cupboard sets, as I said before, based on what the clients want. But we cover a wide variety of designs. We can pretty much create anything the client asks for. We really cater to working class persons that are able to afford the products that we offer. Recently, we have been making plans to really revisit our pricing so that our products may be available to those who really appreciate quality furniture but are not able to buy those products because their purchasing power is very limited. So we are in plans of doing that, because the lower the cost of the furniture design, not necessarily carry it down to a point where we do not benefit, but making it available to the wider society, because what I've seen is that a lot of our resources are really used to supply 1% of society, those who really have the monetary funding to buy products. Our materials are really bought locally. We buy cedar, oak, mahogany, Spanish elm, and it goes back to what the client wants, because sometimes a person will come in and they know from in the beginning what kind of wood they want to be used for their design.
This is a kitchen stool made from the first wood which was introduced. It is so beautiful. It polishes well, as you can see, with a lot of color, brown and beige. This is a table set which is being made from a combination of mahogany and our own local oak.
There are areas in St. Thomas and surrounding areas where we get our lumber from. The hardware persons do have their independent business where they go around, cut down trees and supply us. No capital from investors or from the bank or credit union. It was just as a result of his hard work. Items that he purchased first, he purchased a table saw, then he purchased a jointer, a spray gun, cylinder to get the spraying done, a drill, all the necessary tools to really create a complete piece of item for the client. We've had a lot of hiccups, but I think that the industry that we're in is a very profitable one. You just need to tap into certain strategies, such as what I have started out to do, which is the marketing and creating the brand. As a result of the technology that we have now and the use of the internet, I can tell you this, that since we created the Facebook page, we have had a number of potential clients that are really interested in our furniture designs. Some time ago, we had a lady from, I think it was Barbican, I mean, she doesn't know us from anywhere, but I mean, she sent us her money based on what we had to offer. And during the process of creating the shelf that she wanted, we sent her images. So based on the internet, we have been able to maximize our output of furniture designs. As manufacturing, I would say that is an ideal environment. But as it relates to the sales, we want to tap into the Kingston area because we believe that there are more persons that have a level of interest in our designs, you understand, and really appreciate the quality, and they have a lot more spending power to really purchase what we offer. A culture of hard work and dedication and persistence, family orientation. Well, we have 4 individuals working with us. My sister and my mother, sales representative, my father is the head of production, and 4 other gentlemen who work with us. Very skilled individuals in what they do, which really helps to enhance the quality of work that we do. We are fortunate enough to have persons who are really passionate about woodwork and trying to reach somewhere in the industry that they're in. So they are very hardworking, had a passion for woodwork long before what we had here. So we have been very fortunate to have those individuals in our business.
Here I'll introduce to you a bed seat. You can place it at the foot of your bed. Some people call it a bed bench.
My daddy tell you, we work very hard here, from Mondays to Fridays, from 8 in the morning to approximately 6 in the evening. Sometimes we go overtime. And on a typical day, we have 2 dressers or a door to be done. That is somewhat easy for us to accomplish in terms of fitting, sanding, spraying, etc. Miller's Furnishing and being an entrepreneur has really given us more drive, perseverance in what we are doing. Since it's really a family-oriented business and we've grown around the environment, we are really passionate about what we do here. In terms of friendship, I would say that it has somewhat declined in terms of who I had as friends and who I have as friends now, because being in an environment of entrepreneurship, you're trying to get yourself into a circle of those who are like-minded, trying to get themselves further in terms of entrepreneurship. I have a mentor who is an entrepreneur himself, who he has his own business, a part of Branson's Entrepreneurial Center, and he has really been guiding me and molding me in terms of decision-making and the modus operandi which I need to take in terms of getting the business forward.
How are you going with all of that? You're moving?
No. I'm a passport I come for renewing, you know. But you want me to show me no in that place full of crowd and the long line I take you all day. Make sure you walk with some food. And...
No man, things improve man. Them have a drop box where you can use inside. They finish in no time. Yeah man, them are done.
Yeah. And some food man. Try this. Drop box.
Transformation is happening across the public sector. Many services are now available online. We are building a better public service for all. Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation Unit.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
As an artist, I sometimes sit down and sketch out new ideas. Online, there's a vast amount of ideas that you can get to really superimpose in creating new ideas. Most ideas that we use are already in existence, but as an artist, I have the ability to sit down and sketch out new ideas in terms of our modern designs, which are very minimalistic in approach. But I would say it's really superimposing what others have done and really creating new ideas based on that, turn it around somewhat. Over the years, it has really been word of mouth. And since recently, about 2 years now, building the brand. Since we built the brand, we've started our Instagram page, or Pinterest page, or Facebook page, or Twitter page. And I have our website that is now under construction. So with all of that being done, I expect that our customer base will increase drastically based on the quality products that we offer, because people really and truly want quality furniture designs. They would call me like on a daily basis, complaining about the fact that they can't really get quality furniture design, and they realize that they found a company that really upholds the whole idea of really giving customers what they want for the long term. We've had a lot of challenges. At one point in time, we had our space, our furniture, my dad would tell you, and it got burnt down. You understand? So we lost pretty much everything in that fire about 6 years ago. But since then, we've made strides in getting the business back on track. You understand? Big strides we've made where that is concerned. Finding a proper space is one of our biggest challenges, because as you can see here, it's pretty small in terms of the demand that you're getting. Based on the quality and the quantity of work that people want, we've had to turn down a lot of those potential work, sadly. But I mean, I've been in talks with persons that are really able to help us where that is concerned in finding a proper space. Most of the owners of these spaces, they're asking for a price that is really out of our reach, whether it's for rent or for lease. You understand? And I think that that really stifles the ecosystem of startups in Jamaica, because a lot of us SMEs have a lot of potential in really boosting the economy, but we're not able to find a proper space. But nonetheless, we are here and we are doing as much as we can to get the business out there.
Here we have the circular table saw, which is a... Go ahead and cut.
I think that in life you will have a lot of failures, but you should not let that stop you from moving forward, because it's really how you take that failure. You understand? Go back to the drawing board. Instead of blaming others and finding excuses, you would question yourself of where did I go wrong? What other avenue can I take to really accomplish that goal? So it's really how you take that failure. You understand? Do you learn from it, or do you stop at where you're at and give up? At Miller's Furnishing, we do not give up. As I said before, one of our biggest challenges is finding a space. But we're not giving up. At some point in time, we will find a space. If it's even looking out of St. Thomas, at some point, that's how serious we are about it.
Someone like chisel the work, cannot be done.
In terms of making mistakes and doing damage control, as my father is production manager, he would go around and make sure that things are done in accordance with how the client would want their piece to be done. He's always in contact with them. They can come in at times. So I would say that we have a minimal amount of mistakes that happen because the clients really come in. We are in constant communication with them. Understand? And as I said before, we have a team that is very capable of doing what we do here. I wouldn't say that we've made any solid strides in securing the longevity of Miller's Furnishing. It's really a process, and in carrying out that process, we are learning and taking out the process in strides. So after we've accomplished one goal, we move on to accomplishing another goal. You understand? So we're not really trying to rush what we are doing, but making sure that we approach things step by step. In terms of marketing the business, I have had friends from JBDC, Jampro. Every time an event comes up, I would be a part of that event. And it has been they've all been a good platform in terms of meeting potential clients, from hoteliers to the regular person who just wants to improve their home environment. But I think that government has been doing a lot for SMEs. It's really how you grasp that opportunity, because I can remember that after my final year exhibition, it was the last day, and they were closing down, and I met Ms. Danielle Wilkins, who is from Ministry of Tourism, and I introduced myself to her as Managing Director of Miller's Furnishing and what I wanted to do in terms of getting our business out there. And she gave me the opportunity with the help of Miss Caroline Caroline McDonald, to be a part of the first staging of Christmas July, which was last year. From that, we had a lot of leads, which were converted into about 10 customers. So that in itself was a good platform for getting ourselves out there. But in terms of marketing, it's really getting ourselves into every event that the government comes up with to really get our name out there and our brand out there. I'm willing to go as far as possible being a young entrepreneur. I've realized that you have to take risks in life. You understand? You will never know unless you try. And since we've tried, we've made a lot of strides. If we did not try on this business venture, we would not know how far we would have got the business, how far we would have been. Look at us now. We are much better than 5 years ago or 10 years ago, based on the risk that we've taken now. Understand? A lot of persons have been hearing about us, and all of that is because we took a risk. I think you have to be bold, be fearless in what you're doing. First, you have to be dissatisfied with life and how it's going, and then you have to have the vision. With the vision comes the first step. It must be greater than your resistance that you would normally have in going out on a business venture. So the dissatisfaction plays an integral part. Having the vision, willing to take the first move, because without that first move, nothing will happen. And all of those have to be greater than the resistance, because a lot of persons are very fearful of going into business. For what reasons, I don't know, because there's so much potential and opportunity in starting a business for yourself, and it's very self-fulfilling, knowing that you don't really have to work for anybody, you're working for yourself. Nothing is wrong with working hard, but it's much better when you're actually working for yourself. Success for me is achieving your life's goal and getting that satisfaction which comes from actually doing the work and doing that work, and it's generating that monetary fund that can make you live as comfortable as possible, helping others, being able to help others because of that monetary growth in your life, because empowering others will automatically help you to make other people successful. So the key is really to empower others based on that success, which comes through the monetary gain coming from your long-driven passion. Because without that passion, you will not really go far. You have to find that passion. My greatest fear is fear in itself, right? So I don't really pay attention to that. If I have something to be done in regards to our business and what our family has built over the years, I move at it. I am very decisive in taking steps to ensure the growth of our business. We are not driven by fear. Any steps in regards to our business, we are very decisive in taking that step, making that move. Because as I said before, it's the most important thing to do. Being bold, cutting fear out of your life and taking that step.
All human life is precious. Respect life. No more senseless killings. No more
What motivates me most is that I've grown up seeing my dad working hard to build quality furniture designs. And because of that, that is the main thing that has really motivated and given me that drive to help in whatever way I can to make our business as successful as possible. Another thing that motivates me is my mentor. Because first you have to get the recipe from your mentor and don't let your ego get between yourself and that recipe. You understand? Because he has done it before and you're now gaining the knowledge, so it's very important for you to listen and move forward in terms of what he's advising you on doing.
Woodwork has experienced a fall off in craftsmanship. We can find only just a few people today who are willing to do good woodwork.
My greatest inspiration has been my father, because one of the most important things in terms of what he has taught me is work ethic. You understand? Working very hard for what you want. So my father has been my greatest inspiration, working hard for what you want. He's the definition of working hard. My favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur is the opportunities that come with it, meeting new individuals, you know, gaining new experiences, actually carrying out a step. Sometimes you might fail, but the lesson that you would learn from that failure really helps you. And if you weren't an entrepreneur, if you were just an average individual, you would not have made that drastic failure and learned a life lesson from that situation. So being an entrepreneur is not just about business, it's about life in itself and actually moving beyond your fears and learning from mistakes when they do happen. I attribute my success to my parents, who've helped me over the years to really create the skills that I need, life skills that I need to move forward. Being very determined, not taking no for an answer. You understand? Proper values and standards to live by. It has really helped me in terms of starting our business and helping me to have that drive to move forward. My most satisfying moment in business was last year at the first staging of Christmas in July, where after the event and it was time to really walk around to the booth and everything, we got to meet the ministers, and they were very, very interested and loved the work of Miller's Furnishing, and they came around and sat and everything, and we spoke to them, and there were cameras all over. And knowing that we've been doing this all the years and we didn't really take a step further into getting the business out there and actually doing that, and it garnered so much attention. You understand? I was saying to myself, wow, suppose we had done this years ago, we would have been much further in terms of business and making a name for ourselves. What makes me happy? Well, seeing Miller's Furnishing grow from strength to strength. You understand? Delivering our furniture, right, most importantly. Getting our brand out there, seeing it on the internet, seeing those testimonials where people are very pleased with the work. You understand? Because a lot of hard work is placed into it. and seeing the satisfaction on their faces. My hobbies are reading, watching videos of players in the industry who have already been through this phase of starting a business. I've read about companies such as IKEA, which is you would say a tycoon in terms of furniture industry. IKEA, I've read testimonials about persons who had failures and how they overcame those failures to be where they are right now. And I think that a lot of those failures really match up with some of the failures that we're having right now or had. I like going out to the beaches and doing recreational activities. But since I've been in the sphere of entrepreneurship, it has really changed my pattern of hobbies really. One of my main hobbies now is talking to persons who have really done it, started their business, and getting as much knowledge from them as possible that is needed to get our business further, because I'm really serious about this. I'm not really interested in working for anybody. I'll work for my business, our business, so that it reaches to the highest level possible. Because we have a very marketable product, and once you have a very marketable product or service, you will achieve the monetary gain or the self-fulfillment that you want from that. In terms of the sacrifices that we have had to make, firstly, my parents investing in their children first, giving them that platform, that groundwork of being educated, because a lot of money could have been invested into the business itself, but they have invested in their children first. So now that they have invested in us, we are now able to really add to what has already been in existence to make it much better. The future plan for Miller's Furnishing is to have a bigger space, about approximately 6,000 square feet. That is very good for what we are trying to do. That is a magnitude of what we want the business to go to. A 6,000 square feet space where we can manufacture as much furniture as possible, employ as much skilled persons as possible, and to have a store in the corporate area to give some real competition to the existing ones in the corporate area. So we want to have a corporate area presence, most importantly. Well, I advise young entrepreneurs to, if they're passionate about what they're doing and they feel within themselves that they can be successful at what they're doing, it is very important to take that first step. Don't be driven by fear. You need to move beyond that fear and take the first step. Even if you fail, you will learn from that mistake, and because you're passionate about what you're doing, you will put the necessary measures in place to not let that failure or mistake happen again. But it's most important to take that first step.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, Fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents will say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
And
ultra-efficient home should be at the top of everyone's priority list, whether you're thinking about home ownership or home renovation. In order to accomplish this feat, you'll have to take several things into consideration. And on this episode of Home Sweet Home, we'll be talking about making your piece of paradise more environmentally friendly by talking about energy conservation and water conservation. So stay with us more after this. Jamaica is known as the land of wood and water, but a fickle economy and climate change might have you thinking about water conservation and water harvesting. With me today to talk about water conservation is Leanne Spence from Instant Save. Welcome, Leanne.
Thank you, Candy. Happy to be here.
Now tell us about the company Instant Save.
Okay, so Instant Save, what we really do is to help people understand the value of water. So we work with homeowners and business owners, schools and hotels to identify opportunities on their property to reduce their water use and of course save on their utility expenses.
Now when you say reduce on their water use, that is water conservation.
That is water
correct?
Conservation.
Now what are the ways that we can save water?
So there are so many ways to save water. Mainly when you talk about saving water, you want to put it in two categories. You want to talk about the efficiency of saving water and the conservation. Conservation really has to do with your behavior. What can I do as an individual, as a business owner, to adjust my behavior to save water? So this may be stuff like turning off taps, turning off garden hoses, things like that to not allow water to waste. Efficiency, and that's where my company focuses on, is using tools and technologies, implementing them without having to change much behavior and still achieving that reduction in water use.
So are there tools to do this, devices to do this? What are some of the actual ways that you use to conserve the water?
Okay, so when you talk about the water efficiency, again, we can look at indoor water use and outdoor water use. So for homeowners, in terms of its outdoor water use, you look at like washing cars and watering your lawn, of which you can do practices like rainwater harvesting and recycling to achieve those things. Indoor, again, where we look at, we say that 70% of the water that's actually used indoor is used in your bathroom. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
So it's used by your toilets, your faucets, and your shower heads. And what we do is we supply products that helps to reduce the consumption of those fixtures by an average 50%.
Okay, now how easy is it to implement these things?
It's very easy. For rainwater harvesting, it's a little more involved. Of course, with rainwater harvesting, you're collecting rain that falls on your roof, right? And you can install gutters and downspouts, collect it in a tank. Of course, some amount of filtration would need to be done. And you can use that water to actually water your lawn. So that's very, very easy. On the other hand, with the technologies, they are available. They're available from us. Simply adding little aerators, modifying your existing toilet tank and changing your shower heads can help you achieve these savings.
Now, energy conservation can be a big undertaking financially. Is it the same with water conservation?
So water conservation is not as a significant financial outlay, and the paybacks are a lot sooner. But of course, conservation on a whole is important, and saving water is saving energy as well, because the cost of water includes pumping, treating, all of those things. So when you think about the investment in water efficient devices, the payback is extremely short and you're recovering investment very quickly.
And as you speak about the paybacks, what can we expect to save when we practice water conservation methods?
Okay, so in terms of the water efficiency side, when you're changing out the technologies, as mentioned, if you can install a water-saving shower head, uses less than 2 gallons of water, water-efficient toilet, and pair it with a water-saving faucet, you can actually achieve a 50% reduction in your water consumption for your restroom.
Okay, so talk to us or explain a little bit more about water harvesting. What is that, and does it differ from water conservation?
No, so rainwater harvesting is water conservation because it is a way to conserve water, or simply use water that is available to us, thereby not having to use from another supply method. So in terms of rainwater harvesting, as mentioned before, when you install the tools like the gutter and the downspout and you have to collect it in a tank, that is just one means. So rainwater harvesting is a more involved process. With new construction, it's actually best to, once you're breaking ground, to install the pipes and fittings to allow for the collection of water, and thereby the piping for the water into your restrooms, into your kitchen. That's the best way. But if you're an existing homeowner and you have to still want to upgrade your fixtures to do that, then you'd have to buy all the different materials, do a little digging, and get to those pipes to afford you to have that option. So it's a little more involved, but it's very possible.
Right, and definitely good with the savings, I would imagine.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, you spoke about harvesting rainwater. How do we make sure that this water is potable, that it's safe for drinking and consumption?
When you collect water from your roof, obviously there'll be debris on your roof, so you have to have a filter there to collect any debris on the surface. When it gets into your tank, you want to ensure to have a strainer or a net over the water to ensure that mosquitoes are not attracted and it turns into a breeding ground. If it is that you want to use this water to irrigate your plants, you're good to go for that purpose. If it is that you want to use the water to now channel it back into your home, then you may have to go through further filtration processes.
Leanne, what would be your tips for home efficiency?
So the first thing you want to ensure, Candy, is that you check for leaks. Leaks can be a big problem in homes, and it can actually cause spikes in your water bills. So the easy way to do that is to just shut off all the fixtures in your home that are using water. Go to your water meter, wait a few minutes, and then check to ensure that there's no moving. If there is movement, that means that water is passing through the system. Next thing is, don't use your toilet as a trash can.
Okay, yes, a lot of people tend to throw things in there and just flush them, right?
And just flush them in, right? The next one is, of course, one of the things that we pioneer is to get technologies that are efficient and that will give you the savings that you need. So whether it's be changing your toilet completely, we have the Stealth Ultra Efficient Toilet, uses less than 1 gallon, actually uses 0.8 gallons of water per flush, so that's significant savings, as well as water saving aerators on your bathroom and kitchen faucets. As I mentioned, you can achieve up to 50% reduction in your water supply or your water use there. And changing your shower heads, you'd be surprised. It's very, very easy to implement, short paybacks, and you'll save money at the end of the month.
And in the long run as well.
And in the long run.
Well, Leanne, thank you so much for joining us and explaining to us why water conservation is so important. Coming up after the break, we'll be talking to Volton Campbell from JPS. Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters. Call us at 876-618-2870 or email us at sales@batvja.com. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Hi, Volton.
Hi, how are you?
Candy. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So today we're going to be talking about JPS, their role in energy conservation and what we, the consumer, can do to be more energy efficient. So let's get started. Joining us now is Volton Campbell from JPS. He is the Senior Energy Management Engineer there, and he's going to be talking to us about energy efficiency. Welcome, Volton.
Hello, Candy. How are you?
I'm very well.
Wonderful.
So, Volton, I'd like to talk about reducing our carbon footprint. What can we, the consumers, do, and what's the role of JPS in that?
Well, let me start by saying that we're all concerned about the environment in terms of rising sea levels and increased temperatures. Right. What we can do as consumers is to reduce our energy consumption, which reduces emissions by power plants, and we, JPS, by going into renewables, we can also reduce emissions. And with reduced emissions, we reduce the impact on the ozone layer and the temperatures and the rising of sea levels.
Okay. How would you describe an energy smart home?
I'll give you a general description. In an energy smart home, you would try to use energy efficient equipment, and you can use devices that can control equipment, and you can use like energy management systems. And in general terms, that is what you would call an energy efficient home.
What are some of the ways that we can use energy efficiently in our homes? I mean, I think we already know some of the ways: turn off the lights, things like that. Can you give us some other examples?
We can turn off the lights using smart technology. Right. We can use, for example, occupancy sensors, that when you step into a room, it turns on the light, and when you step out, it turns it off. But apart from that, we can use efficient equipment.
Now let's talk a little about energy-saving devices or appliances. What advice do you have for consumers who are buying these things?
Personally, I start by doing some research.
Right.
Because typically there are improvements in terms of technology with a lot of these devices. So you can search online before you actually make a purchase. But in case you're in a store and you want to make a comparison or make a purchase, for refrigerators, for example, they tend to have a sticker that indicates that they're Energy Star compliant. And they tend to have like an indicator as to where they fall in terms of energy efficiency compared to a typical product. So that can actually guide you if you're looking at two refrigerators. There are air conditioners that are called inverters, right, that are the most efficient on the market. They can reduce the consumption, general consumption of air conditioners by around 30%. There's a factor called an energy efficiency ratio, which speaks to the efficiency of the air conditioner. And this factor should be as high as possible, meaning if you're buying an air conditioner with an EER of 9, if you're to buy one that is 10 or 11 or 12, the efficiency is better or it's more efficient. So the higher the EER, the more efficient the air conditioner. With other products, I would suggest that you do some research, get the model number and research online.
Do these appliances or devices actually make a difference though?
They do, and I'll give you one example. I remember this customer some time ago. He purchased an inverter refrigerator, and what he said is that when he purchased the refrigerator, the next month, his bill was cut by half. Wow. So they have a significant impact, but you need to focus on the right things, meaning a refrigerator can have a significant impact on your consumption, but one light bulb, maybe not. Or an air conditioner, yes, maybe yes. And a phone charger, I doubt it very much. Okay. Right?
What are some of the products that JPS has to assist with the energy efficiency or energy reduction?
Okay, in our e-store here at Ruthven Road, we have a number of products that you can use to reduce your energy consumption by controlling equipment. For example, we have timers that you can use with refrigerators, you can use them with fans, you can use them with any plug-in device.
But hold on, when you say refrigerator now, why would I want my refrigerator to not have any energy
to not operate? Under normal circumstances, your refrigerator operates, then it turns off, and it operates, and it turns off. Normal cycle.
Right.
Now, at nights, if you were to, for example, increase the turn-off time of your refrigerator when it's not being used, for example, between, let's say, 1 at night until 4 in the morning, the products would more likely remain frozen simply because you're not entering the refrigerator. And what you would have done is reduce the runtime of your refrigerator by around 4 hours. Okay. And that results in energy consumption reduction, similar like turning off your lights. Apart from timers that you can use, as I said, on your refrigerators, we sell LED lights and we sell occupancy sensors. The ones that, as I said before, you step in and it turns on the light, and when you step out after a while, it turns off the light.
I'm not as versed on this as I would like to be, but I know nowadays there is solar powered this and there is wind powered that. Are those products that you guys offer at JPS?
At JPS we sell solar water heaters, and we sell photovoltaic systems. The difference being solar water heaters, that is heating water using the sun, and the photovoltaic systems which produce electricity using the sun.
How would you recommend homeowners go about introducing energy-saving technology into their homes?
Let me start by saying that energy-efficient devices are typically more expensive than your normal devices. So expect to spend a little more in that respect. So incrementally, you can introduce devices in your home. You can start with the lights, going to LED lights. Not everywhere, but in areas that you use for more than 3 hours per day. You can introduce timers for lights or timers for your refrigerator. So we're starting small and not with a lot of financial outlay. Then you can move to your refrigerator. If it is that your refrigerator is, let's say 7, 10, 15, 20 years old, then what I would suggest is that you consider replacing it with a more efficient and modern refrigerator whose consumption could be half of what an old refrigerator is. You can replace an electric water heater with a solar water heater, or you can use a timer to control the water heater, and that itself can reduce the consumption of the water heater. In addition to that, you can buy a washing machine that is efficient. The best way to describe it are the ones that you put the clothes at the front as opposed to at the top. Right. Those are more efficient than your typical washer. In terms of dryer, electric dryer, you can use the sun.
You can hang your clothes on the line.
Right. Or you can use a gas dryer. So incrementally, you can introduce devices in your house, and over time, you'll see the benefits in terms of, one, the electricity bill that you pay, and it allows you to save and allow you to maybe go on a cruise.
Coming up, we'll be talking about how to read your JPS bill and how to make your home more energy smart. Stay with us.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching Business Access. Business Access. Business Access. Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Reading the meter or even reading your electricity bill at the end of a month can be a little difficult for people. How can you guide us through this?
When you apply for a service to JPS, we give you a meter that says 00000, no consumption.
Right.
However, when you start using appliances, it increments and the number changes from 0 to 1 to 3 to 4 to whatever it is, right? And that's an indication of the energy you would have used over the period. Now, to read your meter, similar to what we do, it's a good idea to, at the beginning of the month, you write out the number you see on the face. We have electronic meters now, so it shows you the readings in numbers, right? And at the end of the month, you do a similar reading. And then what you would do is subtract the first reading from this second reading and indicate the consumption over the period. But even more than that, what we kind of suggest is that every day you read your meter at the same time. For example, when you're leaving in the morning at 6 or 7 o'clock, you read the meter. And the same time every day, you read the meter. What that allows you to do is to track what you're doing every day, and when there's a spike in the consumption, you can check back as to what could have caused it and correct it before the end of the month when you have to pay that
bill.
Right.
Okay, reading the bill now.
Okay, what we do, or what we have on the bill is a bar chart to the left that kind of show your consumption per month. People don't pay attention to that, but it's important. It indicates over time what your consumption is, and if there's any variation, increase or decrease, it is for you to try to investigate what that is. But apart from that, that shows the trending of your consumption. You can pay attention to certain components of your bill. For example, people don't realize this, but the largest cost item on your bill or charge is fuel, what we call the fuel and IPP charge. And right now we're getting a break in the sense that the cost of oil has gone down, so therefore the fuel component of your bill has gone down. I'm sure you've noticed that, right?
Oh, yes.
Right, wonderful. So the extent to which that remains low, it is good for us. But when it starts to increase, and so will your bill, and that has nothing to do with JPS at all.
Okay.
And another thing to pay attention to is when your meter is read every month, because sometimes when you see an increase in your bill in terms of money amount, it can be because the amount of days you're billed for are longer than usual, meaning as opposed to being billed for like 30 days, you might be billed for either 31 or 32 days, and you notice that spike. But it would save you having to call us and inquire if you look at the days, amount of days you're billed for sometimes when you see an increase in your bill.
Talk to us about the pay-as-you-go system and also the energy auditing that you guys do.
We offer a new product, a new option to customers, residential and small commercial, which are really rate 20, in terms of getting their supply from JPS. Under normal circumstances, you'll apply for service to JPS. We come in, we put in our meter, and you get a bill every month.
Right.
Now we have another option called the pay-as-you-go. Similar to when you buy credit for your phone. You can buy credit, electricity credit.
Okay.
That can last for whatever period you want. So therefore you can go to a Bill Express location that is working with us. You can buy your credit, put it on your meter, and you can manage your consumption over time. In fact, what we found is that people who use this option, their consumption reduces by around 35%.
Oh, wow.
And the beauty about it is that you have a lot of places you can top up your credit, and you can see your consumption day by day. You can manage your consumption. You have an option where if it is you run out of credit, you can call the call center and they can top you up until you can get a chance to go and refill your credit. So it's a nice, flexible and convenient service.
Energy credit, I didn't know that existed.
Well, it does. We're on the cutting edge. Regarding energy audit, it's a service that we offer to our customers where persons are interested in understanding what's happening at their location, residential or commercial. They can contact us and we can give them a proposal as to what it would cost to do an assessment at their facility, which includes measurements, analysis, and give recommendations in terms of what you can do to control your energy consumption and your costs.
What are the immediate costs associated with making the switch to a more energy efficient home?
Well, first of all, it will cost you a little bit more. For example, if it is you're buying an air conditioner, a standard air conditioner, and you were to buy a more efficient air conditioner, you would pay maybe something like 10 to 50, maybe 20% more than what you would pay for a standard device. So you'll pay a bit more, but you'll recoup it over time.
Exactly. And I mean, as you say that, I want to talk more about the long-term benefits of making that investment.
The long-term benefit is saving our environment.
Definitely.
But in terms of you, it is more money in your pocket that you can use to do whatever you want, whether invest or whatever it is. But it is worth it, and we at JPS, we kind of encourage it. How do we benefit? To the extent that you are happy in your environment and you can afford to pay your bill. And we can install the plants to serve you, because let's not fool ourselves. We are to install a power plant is expensive. Right. And the more you use electricity, is the more plants we need to build. So if it is that you can conserve and reduce your demand from us, then it's less investment on our side, and overall the price of electricity will go down.
Voltan, thank you so much for joining us on Home Sweet Home today and for sharing your wealth of knowledge on energy efficiency.
It was a pleasure for me to be here to share information that I'm sure will be helpful to you and your viewers.
Absolutely, thank you very much. We've come to the end of another episode of Home Sweet Home, where we looked at some of the ways to make your home more energy efficient. Until next time, I'm Candy. Take care.
I do have a dream, and I know you have a dream, that we can make Jamaica the place of choice for you to choose to live, to work, to do business.
We are going for the Jamaica we want. Making steady progress to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals in our National Development Plan, Vision 2030 Jamaica. We have teamed up with valued partners, working through strong institutions to reduce inequalities in our society. We commit to being responsible in our production and consumption, ensuring we build sustainable communities in harmony with nature. Jamaica is making significant strides in providing quality, lifelong education for all, enabling our people to be engaged in decent work to drive economic growth, equipping men and women with the skills to build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industry, foster innovation, and utilize new technologies. Urgent action is being taken to manage natural resources responsibly, protecting clean water sources, ensuring access to water and sanitation for all, diversifying to alternative energy sources, conserving our environment and sustaining life below water and on land. Jamaica is making moves to ensure healthy lifestyles for the well-being of our people. We're promoting sustainable agriculture to achieve food security, improve nutrition, and end extreme hunger, putting in the work to end poverty in all its forms. We're on track in achieving our Sustainable Development Goals through realizing our Vision 2030 Jamaica. We will leave no one behind.
And I'm chilling right now, 'cause we're winning right now.